All right, let's get right into it. If the weather where you live feels a little off right now, well, you better buckle up because this winter is about to pull a complete 180. We are talking about a massive coast-to-coast weather flip happening this week, and we're going to break down exactly how it's all going down. You know, right now, the U.S. is a country of just incredible extremes. On one hand, you've got folks bracing for a pretty dangerous, severe weather outbreak. We're talking tornadoes. And at the exact same time, another part of the country is getting ready for a heat wave that's going to shatter records. It's going to feel more like late spring than the middle of February. So the big question is, how? How on earth can you have these two totally opposite things happening at once? Well, it turns out it's all part of this huge pattern change, and the whole story really begins with a powerful storm system that's already on the move.
And that's where we start, with the storms brewing in the southeast. You gotta think of this system as the trigger, the first domino to fall that's about to set off a chain reaction across the entire country.
So what's happening right now? Well, there is a slight risk for severe weather stretching across parts of Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. The big threats are damaging winds and, even a few tornadoes. And hey, for any racing fans watching, this storm could absolutely mess with the end of the Daytona 500 tonight. Okay, now for the main event, the Great Weather Flip. As that storm in the southeast moves off the east coast, it basically acts like a giant door swinging open. And when it does, it allows colder air to just pour in, completely reversing the entire weather pattern we've been in. And let me be clear, we're not talking about a small tweak here. This is a total overhaul of the weather map. This flip is what's setting the stage for a week of chaotic, super active weather all across the U.S. So let's break down how this actually works. It's kind of like a three-step dance. First, that southeast storm makes its exit out into the Atlantic. Second, the colder air rushes in to fill that space. And third, this is the key, that shift completely changes the jet stream, basically opening up a highway for powerful new storms to start rolling in from the Pacific. And this is where that domino effect really kicks in, because with that Pacific door now wide open, we're not just getting one, but two major coast-to-coast storms that are going to march across the country this week. And they're going to bring some pretty big impacts for millions of people. I mean, just look at this first storm. It is a beast. Check out this number. We could see up to 8 feet of snow in the higher elevations out west. 8 feet. That is just a staggering amount of moisture coming ashore. And here's where it gets really weird. It's not just about the snow. There's so much energy with this system that there's actually a rare tornado risk for parts of California. Yeah, you heard me right. Near places like Los Angeles and San Francisco. That's something you just almost never see. So let's follow this thing across the country. On Monday, it just slams into the West Coast. By Tuesday, it's making its way over the Rockies, and that's going to kick up some serious winds across the Central Plains. Then by Wednesday, all that energy and moisture gets its act together and becomes a new winter storm, ready to drop snow and ice on the Midwest and the Northeast. And just when you think it's over, it's not. Right on its heels, a second wave of energy is going to come over the Rockies later in the week. This second storm could actually impact even more people, bringing yet another round of snow and storms from the plains all the way to the East Coast. It's a real 1-2 punch. But believe it or not, the storms are only half the story. This flip is creating something even more dramatic, a battle between record heat and good old-fashioned winter. It's going to create a massive temperature clash that literally splits the nation in two. The scale of this warmth is it's mind-boggling. We are talking about temperatures in the central part of the U.S. soaring as much as 40 degrees above average. Let that sink in. This isn't just a warm day for February. This is a full-blown record-smashing heat wave. And this is the result, this incredible contrast. It's like two different seasons in one country. On one side of the storm track, from Texas all the way up to Minnesota, it's going to feel like summer. Meanwhile, on the other side, millions of people from the upper Midwest to New England are going to be digging out from a pretty significant winter storm with a widespread 3 to 8 inches of snow on the table. Okay, so let's boil it all down. What does all this chaos actually mean for you? Let's quickly run through the key things you need to know for this really volatile week ahead. So, to wrap it all up, a complete weather pattern flip is happening as we speak. That flip is unleashing two powerful coast-to-coast storms that are going to bring a lot of snow and ice. At the exact same time, a record-breaking heat wave is building across the middle of the country, and that's creating a truly historic temperature divide from one side of the nation to the other. So really, what we're watching is the end of one kind of stable weather pattern and the very turbulent birth of a new, much more active one. As these powerful systems clash and all that record warmth eventually gets shoved out, well, some of the models are already hinting at a possible Arctic blast right behind it. Which really leaves us with the big question. Is this flip the beginning of winter's last big fight?